Hey guys, welcome back to CSG Reptiles. Today I have three little guys with me. I have Jake and Layla's back here, and then I have Gemini right here. So all three of these ball pythons are in different stages of shed right now. So we're just going to talk about how pythons can act whenever they're shedding, as well as what to look for and how to tell that they are in shed. So we're going to give you a close-up of each one and go through those right now. Alright, so this is Gemini. He actually just started going into shed, and we will put up a picture of each one of them. That way you can see what they normally look like, but his colors are very muted. He's normally much more vibrant than this. And then let's see. His eyes, they haven't developed like the super gray or bluish eye caps yet, which you will see later on in Jake and Layla. Now, another indicator is by looking at their bellies. Like his belly does have a pink tint to it. This is generally a good indicator that they are going into shed and about to shed. Alright, so here is Jake. Now his colors, he's looking almost brown. In person, he's looking almost like a khaki color in his sides, where normally he is a very bright and vibrant orange, and his whites are almost looking cream and not white like they normally do. And see, now on him, you will be able to see his eye caps. Let's see if he'll cooperate, because like I said, he is a feisty one whenever he is in shed. Alright, so you can see his eye caps right there. Now, their eyes are the main reason whenever they're shedding. It's actually called them going into blue because those eye caps do turn a bluish gray color. Now, let's look at his belly. As you can see, his belly does have that pinkish tint, which the pink tint is generally the first indicator that we tend to notice. We see that pink come up before their colors even dull down. And here is Layla, which she is really deep in shed. If you look at those eyes, you can see how grayish blue they are. She should be shedding here in the next day or two, but she's just a normal ball python. But I mean, her browns are generally more vibrant, and her blacks are normally a deeper black too, where they tend to look like there's almost like a gray layering over them. And then her belly is starting to lose that pinkish color, but it is still there, just very lightly, because she is about to shed. And she is just the sweetest girl. Alright, so one more thing with Layla, if you look right here, you can actually see where some of the shed is starting to come up here in these few scales right here. Right, and then if you look at her neck, if you see how wrinkled up it is, that's also another sign of shedding. Alright, so now that y'all are able to see the different indicators of being in shed, let's talk a little bit about how they might act when they're in shed. So Jake here particularly, he can get a little feisty. I think it's just he can't see, so he gets scared and he gets very defensive, so he's much more likely to hiss and strike at us whenever he is shedding. So we do try to hold them as little as possible while they are shedding. Now Layla, this is Layla, and she is very docile in general. She tends to not really mind when we hold her when she's in shed. The only main difference that we see with her is that she does tend to refuse food when she's in shed, which is very normal for them to do that as well. So if you do see that your ball python is in shed and that they are refusing food, it's nothing to worry about. As soon as they shed and those eye caps come off, they will go right back to taking their meals. And then Gemini, he is pretty new to us, so we're not really sure what his personality is like. This is his first shed with us. He did refuse his meal tonight, so I'm assuming that's one thing that he is going to do whenever he's in shed. Now during this time, like when they're in shed, I do notice that all of them are in their underground hides a lot more, and I do think it's because that humidity is up. Whenever they're in shed, you do want their humidity around 80%, and that underground hide tends to stay super humid and super warm, be on the warm side. I actually pulled her and Jake both out of their underground hides for this video. Now, if you want to see a video on how we do our underground hides, you can check out our previous YouTube video where I redid her tank actually, and I can show you how I put the underground hide in there.